right, and for more on that incredible UFC 259 performance and just group of fights, we welcome in a former champ himself, Olympic gold medalist, and Triple C Henry Cejudo into Sports Nation. What is up? Let's start first with Amanda Nunes. Absolute domination, and I think we all knew she would, but when you look at what she's done and what she's able to do to her opponents so quickly, what do you think about her and what she means to the sport?
Well, I think she's a person that you can also say she's ahead of her time. Like in reality, when it comes down to her striking, her grappling, her wrestling, I mean, she doesn't. I never seem to be amazed by how much she improves, because it's just like, what is it that she's gonna bring next? You know, as you guys saw that little arm triangle that she did against Megan, those are things that you don't see very quite often. So she's definitely transcending the sport. What she's doing for the sport now, it's she's the next. She's the Serena Williams of what it is for mixed martial arts.
Now, Israel Adesanya tried to join in that champ club with the likes of you and others that have joined that illustrious group, but fell short against Jan Blachowicz. But what is, from your perspective, the most difficult part about jumping up a weight class?
A lot of it is one, it's the weight, and then two, it's the power. The reason why I say the weight is because it's different. Like the speed does change, but you do make it up with leverage. As you guys saw with Jan, it was the weight and it was the power. Whenever he did throw those jabs were almost like right hands, were something that he wasn't used to at middleweight. So when you do tend to go up, the power and the weight does change.
It was such a contrast, too, to see Blachowicz versus Adesanya, and we know how good Adesanya is. So for him to be that outmatched speaks just how difficult that really is. All right, so what's a UFC title fight, Cejudo, without a little bit of drama? And I'm talking about what we saw in the bantamweight title match between Aljamain Sterling and Petr Yan. Yan had it. It was all his until that rogue knee, which obviously DQ'd him, and then you took to Twitter to say Sterling was kind of Hollywooding it. So take us through what you saw in that sequence.
Hollywood's always up to no good. I think, obviously Sterling, Petr Yan, he's a very technical fighter. He was winning the fight. He was clearly winning the fight. And, he threw an illegal knee while the opponent was down. But I can also see the confusion on Petr Yan's side, because it's almost like, when a fighter, it's almost like you feel like the fighter's almost trying to get up. And, you try to anticipate that. And he threw that knee, and pretty much, it was an illegal knee at that time. And to me, for Aljamain, I think he really could have competed. He could have got up. Because if not, when somebody gets rattled when you get rattled, you have a concussion. The room is spinning, man. You don't have time to think and talk about exactly what happened, because you're just a little bit of dumbfounded. So when I saw that, man, I was like, man, this man deserves an Academy Award, man. Best Picture.
Yeah, he was Hollywood.
That's interesting. I mean, it's really interesting to hear your perspective, because I'm watching and I'm like, oh my goodness, that was so painful. So really great to hear from you. I really appreciate your input. Interested to see, do we think we'll see a matchup between those two?
Yeah, I think the rematch is going to happen. I think if you're to both, I would personally like to line both Petr Yan and Aljamain curling sterling silver at the same time. I would like to beat up both of those bad boys.
Okay. Get back in the action. Let's go. Henry Cejudo joining Sports Nation for the very first time. And like we said, we can't wait to have you in studio with us at some point. But thank you so much for hanging.
No problem. Thank you, guys. You guys stay tuned, man. Triple C's coming back. What's up?
Let's go, champ.
Wait a minute.
What?
Did Cejudo just...
Right. So I am thinking he did. And to do that...
Threw it out there?
Right, on the back end of an interview. I mean, that's fine.
Casual.
Yeah. No. A walk-off, if you will.
Okay.
So he retired in May of 2020, and I think just now he announced his unretirement on Sports Nation. I don't know. Let's just take it and run with it.
Yeah, Ariel Helwani, did you hear that? Report that news. And he just walked off right after announcing that. Well, it's now time.